Hello everybody, Dream here, and today I want to talk a little bit about Albion Online. It's an MMORPG that came out. It came out a long time ago. I remember I actually bought the game. This is a different account that I have. I kind of forgot the information too. But it was a game you had to buy, and I couldn't remember if they had a subscription, but it was a buy-to-play game. And then they shifted it to free-to-play with a premium subscription. And holy cow, it's taken off. It is taken off. So, pretty much what it is a PvPvE game. Where there's full loot PvP in specific zones. But there's also a ton of PvE content to take advantage of. And there's also content in the game that combines both elements into one, making a very unique experience to Albion. There are game modes in this game that are not necessarily in other games, and I think that says a lot in their development team. So you get in the game, you make a character, you'll go through the tutorial island that teaches you the basics of the game, things like crafting, wearing equipment, leveling up your characters, and things like that. There is no quests. When you get to the starter town, you may see a few quests, but those are just more tutorials. You don't have to do those. They're completely optional. They just kind of help teach you a little bit more in depth of how the systems work. Holy cow. People won't stop inviting me. But yeah, where to start with this game, man? I don't really do scripts. I'm not good with scripts. I like to just talk in person, just to blab about games. But yeah, I guess we can kind of go over the map. So this is the Royal Continent, and there are 5 major cities. You've got Limhurst, Bridgewatch, Martlock, Thetford, Fort Stirling, and in the center, Caerleon, if I'm pronouncing that right. And as you can see, each zone is divided up. There are a lot of zones. And they're labeled by tier and by color. So the color just represents how safe it is in a PvP environment. Blue is completely safe. You don't have to worry about anyone killing you unless, of course, you duel someone. The yellow zones, people can flag up for PvP, and they're going to be obvious, because all the people that have a blue name tag, they're safe. But when you're flagged, you have a red name tag. So you kind of know that they're hostile. And if they do attack you, and they do kill you, they don't necessarily kill you, they'll just knock you. They'll knock you down. You'll have to wait so many seconds to get back up, and then you'll carry on your way. So even on yellow zones, they're pretty much safe. You don't really have to worry about you dying and then losing your stuff. Now, red zones, that's where it's the same rules apply. You have to flag for PvP. So blue people are safe, red people... Holy cow! Who is this guy? He's really starting to annoy me at this point. Sorry about that. So... But yeah, the red people, it's still blue's safe, red's bad, but when you die, you do lose your stuff. So that is something to keep in mind. Make sure you're wearing stuff that you can easily replace. Now, I showed you the Royal Continent. It's pretty darn big. I don't know how many zones there are, but as you can see, there are a ton of zones. But then you can get to the Outlands, and... this is probably at least twice, if not 3 times as big. As you can see in the minimap here, it is massive. And these are black zones. Black zones means everyone's flagged automatically, whether your intentions are to kill someone or to just gather some stones, wood, gather, whatever. It doesn't necessarily matter. You're going to be a red player. This means you don't know who's hostile. You could run past all kinds of different people that have no intentions on killing you. You won't necessarily know because they're going to be red anyways. This is the most dangerous place because For that reason, you don't know who's hostile and who's not. This is also full loot PvP. Now, I know the other way it's labeled is by tier. As you can see, it has Roman numerals next to it. Tier 5, Tier 6, Tier 4. There's even a couple of Tier 3s. There's a Tier 2 area. That's the starter town. But, so pretty much what the tiers are is they represent the tier of gathering materials you'll find there. And they also represent the difficulty of the mobs. Let me get a drink. They represent the difficulty of the mobs, difficulties of the dungeons inside them. And that's something to keep in mind. Like when you're trying to level up weapons and things, it'll say kill tier 3 or kill tier 4 enemies or whatever to level up. Or no, it's to utilize or to kill those enemies is to get the Reaver, I believe. So this is the skill tree. It's pretty simple. It looks massive. It really does look massive, but it is simple. Straight up is your overall character's base level. I'm gonna put quotations level. And pretty much what this represents is what kind of mounts you can utilize, accessories like capes and bags. This, like I said, this is just your adventure level. If you go to the left, this is all combat. So if you continue to go left, this is your Reaver level, and this just gives you bonus damage and defense against specific tier enemies. As you can see, I am Expert Reaver, which is a tier 5. Anything that says Expert is going to be a tier 5. Anything that says Adept is tier 4. Master is tier 6. Grandmaster is tier 7. And Elder is tier 8. And pretty much what this is it gives you damage versus tier 6 or higher increased by 60%. So the more of these you get, the more damage you're going to do to the mobs. And the more defense. So if you have Expert Reaver, tier 5 enemies are going to be relatively easy. I'm not saying that there's not going to be some difficult challenges out there for tier 5 enemies, but they are going to be easier. I was doing a dungeon. It was a tier 5 dungeon, tier 5 enemies. I was only Adept Reaver, but I was super, super close of hitting Expert. Super, super close. Mid-dungeon, I leveled up the Reaver, and I went from having a challenging experience to a more easy experience. So that was kind of cool to witness, that transition. But this you just get by killing PvE mobs. Now the rest of these are armor and weapons. So you've got your mage style weaponry, you've got your hunter style weaponry, and then you've got your warrior style weaponry. And within each type of weaponry, you'll have different types of weapons. So let's use the axe as example. Actually, let's use something that I've leveled up. Let's do bows, for example. So say you went with a tier 2 bow, which caused you to level up the Journeyman Hunter section. So then you could choose between tier 3 bow, quarterstaff, daggers, nature staff, spears, and offhand journeyman stuff. Torches are one of them. But say you really like the bows, so you continue to use the tier 3 bow until you unlock a tier 4 bow. Now what this does is this unlocks different types of bows. So now you have access to the Adept bow, the Mist Piercer, the Wailing bow, Bow of Baden, War bow, Longbow, and Whispering bow. Now, and it's like this for every weapon. Axes, swords, fire staffs, ice staffs, healing staffs, daggers. Like, there are so many weapons. And within each category, you're looking at about 7 pieces of bows, 7 different types of axes and whatever. And the Q and the EWs, they're typically the same. Sometimes certain bows will have an additional W, or not just bows, but any weapon. But typically the Q and the W are going to be the same. The difference comes into the E, and then of course the base stats of the weapon. So you got to figure out what specific weapon that you want to use, what has the best E that suits your playstyle, because every E does things differently. Some are really good for solo PvP, solo PvE. Like for example, I am using the longbow. Longbow really, really good for PvE. Not necessarily, I wouldn't say it's very good for PvP, but for PvE it's pretty good. It pretty much is just rain of arrows. You gather up a group of mobs, you do rain of arrows. My W, it turns my arrows into explosive damage, so if I hit my W and then I hit my E ability, it's going to rain explosive arrows. So it's really, really cool combination there. It kills groups of mobs fairly quickly. That's what I'm leveling up currently right now. Now the same thing goes for armor. So, oh, real quick, before I go off subject, certain weapons, there'll be a man-hand, two-handed. Two-handed, of course, takes both hands. But the main hand, if it says main hand on it, it means you can have an offhand. So over here, these are the offhand. So you got torches. Now these just give passive bonuses. Like this gives you cooldown reduction, attack speed. Even more cooldown reduction, but no attack speed. CC, damage, but it decreases your defenses, and then CC resistance. And every section has that. So that's just the hunter section. Under the warrior section, you have shields. Different types of shields that excel in different things. And then in the mages, you have different side pieces like a book, an orb. Once again, they all do different things. They all give different bonuses. Sometimes they give you some damage. Sometimes they give you less defense to trade. There's trade-off. There's balancing that needs to be taken. But anyways, now let's go to armor. Armor is the same way. So you can see, I've unlocked tier 3 mediums, which then led me to tier 4 leather jackets. Same thing. Each jacket has a different ability. They also have different stats. So you wear what ability you want. That's pretty much you look at all the abilities, you figure out what abilities you want, and then you put the gear on with those abilities. That makes your build. So in my specific instance, I am wearing a hunter hood, a stalker jacket, stalker shoes, longbow, and a cape. Now this isn't a good build. I'm not giving you a build guide. I'm just using the stalker shoes because they were really cheap, and I'm just using the ability that's on every leather shoe. It's called Refreshing Sprint. It just lets you run real fast for a few seconds, but then also helps reduce your cooldowns. Once again, I was just trying to find the cheapest stuff. I was really, really broke. I still am really, really broke, but at the time I had like 10k silver, so I could only buy certain things. Stalker jacket I was wearing, I had melee, so pretty much what this does is this makes an electric field around me. Zaps everything. Now that I'm using a longbow, I should probably switch that out for something else that would be a little bit more useful. Hunter hood provides this reflection. Gives me some damage resistance and 70% damage reflection. So as you can see, this is my jacket, my head, my feet, and then of course my weapon. And so the combinations are insane. I actually did the calculations at one point. I don't remember the number, but it was oh my god, it was crazy how many like combinations you can have. And that's not even including when you hit tier 4, you can wear these special capes. They're a lot more expensive, but they provide passive abilities like this one. When you get CC'd, you'll ignore 1 CC. It can be pretty game changing if, say, someone's trying to gank you and they try to stun you or something. This will cleanse that. Here's the Bridge Watch cape. This one will create a sandstorm and it decreases damage that they deal, but that also slows them down. Huge advantage as well. And a lot of these different capes do different things. Now, aside from the gear and then the open world, like what is there to do? Now, there's a lot to do, but at the same time, you can easily simplify them. And it can kind of be tricky on how much content there really, really is to do. So, there are dungeons, but there are a lot of different types of dungeons. So you've got your normal solo dungeons. Those are going to be the green caves. You've got your group dungeons. They're going to be blue caves or blue portals. Not the big blue portals. Hold on. Let's walk out here. I don't want to lead anyone the wrong way. They won't be labeled on the map. If you see a big old portal on the map, though, that's something else. I'll get in that here in a minute. Alright. let's go into here and open up the minimap. So I'm not talking about these. Now this is a group dungeon entrance, so that's kind of cool that they're actually showing one. But typically you'll see like big blue portals. Not these, but different ones as you're walking around. Those are going to be group dungeons. You're not going to want to go in those alone. Then you'll see yellow dungeons. These are corrupted dungeons, and what they do is they're very rewarding, but there's a chance that someone can invade your dungeon and try to kill you. Now, if you're in a yellow zone or a blue zone, you'll just get knocked out of your dungeon. But if you're in a red zone or black zone, then you'll actually die and lose your stuff. Once again, same looting rules apply. But this one kind of gives you a guaranteed one-on-one experience instead of like running into a couple people. And you could choose to kick them out of the dungeon as well. There's a mechanic where you have to go around and break a couple of crystals. And if you could break all the crystals in time, you will kick out the invader. And then you don't have to worry about them. So there is a mechanic to try to avoid the PvP if you don't want to. They are very rewarding, though. And then you have static dungeons. Static dungeons pretty much means they're there all the time. I can't really open this minimap, but in the center of this map, there's actually this blue castle. And this pretty much represents there's a huge, giant dungeon with respawnable mobs, and it's there all the time. So you can go in there with a group of friends and just endlessly grind out experience. Now this one's glowing. I can only assume that this is enhanced. This is more difficult, but this gives more fame. Though don't quote me on that. That's just kind of an assumption. I have never seen a static dungeon glow, so that is new. Then you've got these world bosses that you can go and kill. There's a couple of different ones. But yeah. As far as how alive the game is, as you can tell, there are no short of players here. This is just this one town. Actually, I don't know if you saw that red name. Let's see if we could find him. But you see, there's a solo dungeon right there. No, I saw a red name. I hope you guys saw it. You guys can rewind the video if you want. There was a red name. That was just someone that was flagged up for PvP. So he could knock me if he wanted to, but he won't kill me. Now, as far as like what you can do, there's a bunch of open world mobs that get more difficult the longer they're alive. But there are tons of these animals that you can kill and craft, or not craft, but you can skin their hide. And then there are pretty much any resource you see you can consume, whether it's animals. There's a corrupted dungeon. So you can see he's chopping down trees. There's a group dungeon. There's trees, there's rocks. In this specific area, yeah, there's lumber, stone, and hide. But each area has a different resource, and it'll tell you the percentage at which you can get more valuable resources. Yeah, but there's arenas you can do, which is super nice. Where's that dungeon at? Let's see if we can find it. The solo one. Hopefully no one's clearing this. That's one problem is sometimes you can jump in a dungeon and someone would already be clearing it. I'm like, why is this open for me? I don't want to do it. Let's check this one out. Yeah, as you can see, someone's already in here doing it. So we're just gonna hop on out. Now you could try to be rude, and because you can go in here and take over the dungeon, or like try to, but if someone's doing it already, I'll just they spawn. There's more of them. I'm not worried about it. But I guess we can kind of go over combat here. So here's once again the open world mobs. They do get more difficult the longer they're out. I won't be able to. As you can see, there's glowing sparkles around certain things that you can gather. It means those are pre-enchanted items. I'm not going to go into details on that. There's lots of videos out there that go over that, but they're pretty much more rare mobs. But as you can see, the combat works a lot like... see how much damage I did. Like explosive rain of arrows. Super good. It gets pretty in-depth as far as like enchantments go. I guess I can kind of go over it. As you can see, these are green, outlined in green. There's a little green dot at the bottom. If you click on it, there's one green thing here. If it had 2 diamonds, it would be blue, and then 3 diamonds would be purple. And that pretty much what that does is it just adds 100 item power to the gear. So technically a tier 4 item is 700 IP, but since it has 1 enchantment, it's now 800. Which, if you average out all my gear right now, I would just shy of 800. And it's probably just because my cape isn't enchanted. So if this was enchanted, I would be 800 IP or higher. And item power just pretty much it alters the damage and defenses. It's just overall stats. The higher IP you are in something, the better it is. Let's see. So there's a group of mobs here. So yeah, I can go W, E, and boom. Now what's going cool with explosive arrows is they do AoE damage, which means the more enemies you have in an area, each one explodes, the more damage it does. It's, you know, quadratic scaling. So as you can see, there is a red guy here. Let's chase him down. Let's see if we can get he went invisible. Oh, he did a lot of damage. He may end up killing me here. Holy cow, he like flew on me, man. Yeah, he is just a lot higher tier. He's rocking 9.6, 900. Overall, his item power is about 100. I guess he wasn't too much higher than mine. But my goodness, man. They did knock him, though. They knocked me as well. But as you can see, I engaged on a red. He engaged on me. And since I'm in the yellow zone, I'm good. I wasn't worried about dying. If I was in the red zone, I wouldn't have. My gear is... For one, I don't even have a PvP gear set on. The longbow is not good for PvP. It's pretty much a PvE only weapon. There are a lot of bows that are good at PvP, but not this current one. I'm not trying to get it. Now I could type /suicide if I wanted to die, but yeah. I don't know if there's really anything else we can chit chat about. I pretty much went over the basic of the games. Those big portals. See this big blue one? These are called Roads of Avalon. Those are Black Zone content. And then pretty much what that does is you go in there, it'll take you to a random location. They're roads. They're Roads of Avalon. There are random roads. And in those areas are a lot of high-end resources. Once again, this is a Black Zone. So depending on the tier of the area as well, you're going to get a ton of fame. One time I went in there, did one random chest. There's chests on some of them that are spawned out. Go clear all the mobs, open the chest. Pretty simple. And I got like 2 mil off of one chest. But keep in mind, it's a Black Zone, so someone, if you want, you could be doing that, and someone can come up behind you, kill you, take your stuff, take the loot. But as you can see, this guy's just having some fun. And I don't look at it as toxicity. It's in the game. It's part of the game. He was just having fun. In fact, I engaged on him. I chased on him, knowing that I didn't have a PvP gear set at all. PvP gear, you typically want some sort of self-healing. So maybe a mercenary jacket, and then of course not a longbow. not a longbow. Ooh, we got a few reds. So man, we're rocking. You can look down here and see how many reds are popped. Oh, which is cool. We're just about to get up here. Thank goodness. The downtime is a little excessive. I think 2.5 minutes is like if you're the one engaging on the fight as a red player. Then sure, 2.5 minutes. But if you're just some random blue guy running around and you get knocked by one of them, waiting 2.5 minutes, it's a little excessive. I think 30 seconds would be more than enough. But yeah, go up here. There's a party finder. You can do expeditions. That's another thing I didn't go over. Those are just pre-organized group content. And we're going to go ahead and pop on our mount here. Please don't attack. I'm not worried about it. So, these expeditions, they're in town. And you can... They're pretty much just solo style Or no, I'm sorry. There is solo expeditions, but the ones that you really want to do are group expeditions, and they provide things called royal sigils. I haven't done mine today, and I don't think I necessarily have time to try to knock one out. You know what? We could do it. We could do it. They provide these sigils. There's really no reason to do tier 5 because these sigils don't go. Oh wait, no, they give you 2. Wait, what? Oh, I see. I see. So this value isn't as valuable as the tier 4 ones. So we're just gonna do. I don't know why. That's just the market. The developers don't make the prices that the players do. But so yeah, I could probably run through this one a lot easier, a lot quicker. But there are harder ones that require groups and very high item power, and they give higher tier sigils. These sigils are used to make royal gear, but I usually just sell them because they're worth a lot. And they're super easy. Tier 4 is super easy. Let's go ahead and grab the silver. Now they just added like AoE pickup silver. Before you had to click all it just wasn't worth it because they didn't give you that much silver to go around and click on everything. It was a freaking annoying mess. Let's grab everyone here. Aw, man, that's annoying. That was annoying, not gonna lie. See, this chest piece isn't the best. I might switch to just a self-healing one. Alright, let's switch this to this. Oh, that one. Just gonna reset all my cooldowns here. And I'm a silver pack. I like this longbow. So my key, what it does is it reduces their damage resistance. And it does a decent amount of damage. This is, of course, explosive arrows, and that rain of arrows is pretty. You can tell. So I like to go through here, pop them with as many keys as possible because it does reduce their resistances. As you can see, there is things to dodge. Does a decent amount of damage. Let's go ahead and heal up, get some mana. There are a lot better clearing builds, but I'm one of those people who really don't care about if something takes me an extra 10 seconds to clear, but I'm having fun doing it. It's kind of whatever. I'm just playing a game at the end of the day. All right, let's round up these puppies. Now, once again, like I said, all these bows, the E does something different. So if, once again, right now arrows, the reason why it's not good at PvP is because it's kind of easy to avoid. Let's gather up some more individuals. Come on. Come on. But mobs aren't quite as smart to avoid damage, so and another thing that's really nice is how short the cooldowns are. It's only a 15-second cooldown on this. So yeah, it makes it to where you're not. There's one called I think it's the Bow of Baden, which does something similar. It makes like a storm cloud, causes spell interruptions, which is super good against healers. Big old AoE lightning cloud, very good for PvP when it comes to just AoE damage. But it has like a 25 or 30-second cooldown, so it's a lot more excessive. Why didn't I hit him? As you can see in this dungeon, my goal is to kill 40 skeletons. Cursed skeletons, to be specific. Okay, we're going to go ahead and heal up real quick for this boss fight. Grab up all of these. And we're going to pop my deflect, which probably was a waste, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it was a waste. There is one called like the Whispering Bow, which gives you like more range, more damage, but then it decreases your defenses. The Wailing Bow, I believe, shoots a huge arrow out, like a big old demon arrow, and the more people it hits, the more damage it does, so it's really good for, like, Zergs. I can do that too, buddy. Except for you're not smart enough to move. Right, let's keep pushing. I know this video is going to be really, really long, but there's just a lot to cover in this game. And I'm not even, like, I'm barely scratching the surface here. I'm not wanting to waste a cooldown on this guy, because he is nobody. Alright. Let's see what's over here. Nothing? Okay. Yeah, let's try to gather up all these mobs. Once again, I have massive AoE. So... Ooh-wee. My, oh my. It's hard to get those ranged mobs to kind of group up. And one thing I have to complain is, like, how far you get away. Like, if you get the range at which they de-aggro, that's what I'm trying to come up with. The range at which they de-aggro is a little excessive. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, that one moved out. That's not good. Oh, no! I hit the wrong one. I may die here. Yeah, let's back up. Let's back up. Let's back up. I'm more worried about the ranged ones, because I can avoid those guys. It's the range I was too worried about. I think I took on way too many. We're just gonna pop these. Oh, thanks for running in my AoE. Appreciate you. Come on. I need to have carrot soup. Carrot soup gives you increased health regen. Do I have to kill these guys? As you can see, it does decent damage, for sure. Should be getting close to the end here. Man, that quadratic scaling, bro, is nice. I was about to say, how did that miss him? Let's heal up. We should be getting, yeah, we're getting close to the boss. These are really, really worth doing as a pretty much as any player, because I mean, 50k is really nothing to scratch at. And these are really, really easy. We're dealing with a couple of ranged mobs here. Holy cow. Once again, I'm more worried about this guy. Bro, I wasn't in the AoE, man! What is going on? Bro, did you see that? I was outside of its cone, and then the dude teleported. What's my ping right now? I'm scared to look. I need to do a... Alright, we're almost done. We're almost done. Don't walk toward him. Yeah, I just gotta kill this boss. Heal up. Now I'm going to switch to damage, just because I want to kill this guy faster than... But we are going to have to wait the full amount of time, which is fine. Alright, we're going to engage with the WE combo. Actually, no, we're going to start with Q. This is the last boss. Oh, great. Good thing I have AoE. Get some extra damage on him, plus I have a deflect up. We're going to go ahead and wait a couple more seconds for my W to come back. Is he going to spot another mob? Nope. Okay, we're just going to try to finish him off here. Super easy, not hard. And it's done. Yes. So you can see I did all that. We're going to go ahead and pop up out of here. It's going to give me like 4,000 silver, which is nothing. But really, it's those sigils. Like I said, those sigils help make royal gear, like royal armor and stuff. But yeah, now I got one of these, worth about 48k. I'd probably sell for close to 40k though in the shop. And 40k is nothing to sniff at when I'm sitting at 70k. It's going to put me over 100k. I guess we can show you the... where I'm... oh my god, I'm at 35 minutes. I need to stop this recording. I'm just going to show you this real quick. So you can pretty much look for anything. Bow. It's going to find you all kinds of different tiers, enchantments, all kinds of different categories. There's a lot here. But ultimately, I'm here just to sell my residual, 36k. So it's taxing me 2k, but the price is about 38. Like I said, roughly just under 40 probably. But I could make a sell order and sell it at cost. But pretty much what you want to do here is you want to go to sigil, buy, tier 4, fine, royal. Royal sigils are going for 42k, so I'm going to sell mine. I'm going to put a sell order for exactly 40k, which is going to give me 37k in total, but it's going to be a little bit more. Setup fees actually reducing that. So if I just do a quick sell, it's not much different. I'm just going to quick sell it. So yeah, but now I'm at over 100k, so whoop, I'm rich. But I mean, there's so much more. I've barely scratched the surface here, but I'm sitting at 37 minutes now. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you want more video on Albion Online, I will definitely do more. I really like this game. It's also on your mobile device as well, so you can play on Android and Apple. Just to kind of give you an idea of players, there's 464 people in this area. After it hits a certain amount of players, it kind of region overcrowded, so it reduces it to save your computer from dying. But yeah, if you like the video, give it a like. Hit that subscribe button. I plan on making more content. I really like playing this game, though. I do stream twitch.tv/treatemtv. And I hope you guys see you guys there. Have a good one.